Hey everybody, Myo here, and today we're going to be doing a Pokemon VGC 2017 moveset guide video for the Pokemon Porygon2, who is currently ranked 7th on the Pokemon rankings at the Pokemon Global Link website. Now, Porygon2 is a normal type Pokemon, which means he will take 2 times super effective damage from fighting type moves. However, he has a nice ghost immunity, but he takes normal damage from everything else, which would be normal, fire, water, flying, grass, poison, electric, ground, psychic, rock, ice, bug, dragon, dark, steel, and fairy type damage. So that's all normal damage that he takes. But he has the ghost immunity, and then his only weakness is really fighting. So that's really cool. That's why normal types are one of my favorite types of Pokemon. And before we go into the moves and items and abilities, we're actually going to go over the EV spreads first because of this this 4 right here in attack. So we have 244 IVs into, or not IVs, EVs into HP. So we're at 191 HP. If you wanted, I guess you could potentially consider going 252, but I went with 244 because 252 only puts us at 192, and that's an even number, and I have previously heard that having even numbers in HP is not the greatest because of things like, I think Super Fang was one of the moves. I don't know if that's still a thing, but previously it was back in other VGC circuits like 2016, I think 2016 was more common then, but maybe it'll become common now, so that's why we have 244 into HP. Then we have 4 into attack with 31 IVs. Now, if you want to, which I would probably recommend you do it, you can do 0 IVs into attack and then 0 EVs into attack. Doesn't really matter about the 4 because it's still going to be at 80, 85. So then we have 92 into defense, which puts us at 122. So it makes us nice and bulky. Then we got 28 into special attack, which puts us at 129. So we can do some damage, especially with the ability boost, which we'll get into in a minute. And then we have 140 into special defense, puts us at 146 total special defense, with a sassy nature. So we have 0 into speed completely, 0 IVs into speed as well. Alright, so we'll go over the moves second. We're doing this a little bit backwards, and that's only because of the attack. So the moves I have on this one, oops, that's not supposed to be there. We're supposed to have Thunderbolt there. So we have Ice Beam here, which is an ice type move, base power of 90, 100% accurate, 10% chance to freeze the target. If you guys don't know what freeze does, it just means the target can't move unless it thaws out. Then we have Thunderbolt here, a electric type move with a base power of 90, 100% accurate, with a 10% chance to paralyze the target. If you guys don't know what paralyze does, it basically means you have a chance not to move at all, and you're also slower. So that's kind of cool. If you guys are curious about the little category symbol, that means it's a special attacker instead of a physical attacker. Physical is the red one, like if you see on the moves on Double Edge, but I'm not going to get into that. So Trick Room here is the 3rd move we have. So the reason why we have Trick Room on Porygon2, he's a very good Trick Room setter. He's very good for Trick Room because he's so bulky. And you can also reverse other opponents' Trick Room. So if you go against an opponent that's running like a hard Trick Room team, if you have Porygon2 on your team, then you have a good answer to Trick Room if he gets it set up. So you can just reverse it. Then we have Recover for the last option, which heals the user by 50% of its max HP. So it heals yourself up by 50% of your HP. Now, the reason we put 4 into attack is because the download ability on switch-in, attack or special attack is raised by 1 based on the foe's weaker defense, and download is one of the most common abilities you'll run into on Porygon2. And because of that, if you don't want to run Ice Beam or Thunderbolt because you're like, well, what happens if I get the attack boost? Like, if for some reason you're super worried about that, you could replace, like, possibly, I personally would replace Thunderbolt for my team with Return if I wanted to do that, because Return's a normal type move and it's physical with 100% accuracy and a max base power of 102 if he has maximum happiness. So Return's a really good option if you're worried about getting the attack boost instead. The reason I like Ice Beam over Thunderbolt is to deal with Garchomp. Some notable moves that you could potentially put on your Porygon2 would be Toxic. I think that's mainly the biggest notable move would be Toxic. because it deals really well with other Porygon2s. If you guys don't know what Toxic does, it's a poison type move which is 90% accurate. It badly poisons the target, which basically poison just means that you take damage every turn, and every turn you take more damage than the previous turn. So that's why we went with that. Then we have the item Pedialyte on Porygon2 because Porygon2 is not fully evolved. So this item is very good for Porygon2 because he's already pretty bulky. So when you put this on your Porygon2, it increases your defense and special defense by 1.5 times. So that's really good. I like it a lot for Porygon2. Is there any other notable moves that we could go over on Porygon2 or natures? I guess you could run like a modest nature if you want to do more damage, or bold if you want to do more physically defensive. But I personally like sassy for the special defensive. Any other... I don't really think there's any other items you'd want to run, so there's no really notable items that I can think of to put on Porygon2. I mean, I would say Mental Herb, but at the same time, I still feel like Eviolite is the best item you could possibly put on Porygon2. Some other notable moves could potentially be Shadow Ball for coverage to deal with like maybe a Alolan Marowak. And then I guess Protect is always a good option. If you're new to VGC and you don't like these moves that I put on here, consider just replacing one of them with Protect, I guess, because I personally feel like Protect is very important for new players. Now, remember, you guys want to do your own EV spreads for your own team, so this is just kind of a base guide to help you get started and to figure out what's going to be common on the Championship Battle Spot ladder. So you'll most likely run into something like this. So thanks for watching though, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, click that like button, comment, subscribe, share, favorite, all that good stuff really does help me out and I really do appreciate it. So thanks again, and goodbye friends.